be really greatly appreciated. And like I said, I would be the lady to get in touch with for this. I'm organizing the event and hosting the event, so if you guys have any questions about what we're looking for, you can either check the Facebook webpage or you can just call me directly, and my number's on that page as well. So, but yeah, so with the holidays coming up, we've got a ton of stuff going on in the GTA area here in Ontario. I know there's a holiday train. I think that's the name of it. It's the holiday train. It comes through on the major train system that we've got, the train tracking line here that comes through all of Canada. And it's going to be making several stops. And I believe the inside of this thing, which I find, like, listen to this. This is super cool. The inside of this train has, I guess, they've redone them. They're like massive cars that have been redone as like stages and seating and stuff like that. So they're doing mini concerts inside of these trains, which I think is just cool. And they've got the entire outside of the train all decorated with Christmas lights, and I'm pretty sure that it has writing on the side that says Merry Christmas. And I believe they've got Santa Claus. They make a stop, and you can go in and see Santa in one of the car trains. The train cars, said that backwards. Yeah, so it's going to be really, really cool. I know this is stopping in Hamilton at Gage Park, I believe. So anybody who's looking to do something fun over the holidays, go check that out. We've also got lots of our Santa Claus parades coming up. I believe they're in the first week of December. And I think even as early as the last week of November. I'll keep you guys posted on that stuff, because I'm always into the Christmas is so my time of year. When my mom first passed away, I used to get really, really sad because, obviously somebody who was very important at the table was missing. But, now that I've had my own family and stuff, Christmas is fun again. I really have a great time. My kids, one of our things this year is we're going to a local farm called Mary Farms. If anybody hasn't checked that out, go check out Mary Farms. It's a blast. Even for pumpkin picking this year for Halloween, with that just passed, we were pumpkin picking at this place, and it was fabulous. They had this massive pumpkin trampoline that could fit, like, I'm talking probably a good 50 kids. It would probably pop, but like, in terms of its size, it could definitely fit 50 kids. And then there was like a huge slide, horses for them to pet, goats, rabbits, there was a little racetrack, and then there was also a tractor ride out to the pumpkin patch, and then you go pick your own pumpkin, and they take you back. So it was, and they had this really cute Christmas store. I went and bought a whole bunch of stuff in there. Of course I did. But yeah, so we're going back there to do our Christmas tree cutting this year. So that should be really fun, because this is going to be my kids' first year cutting down a Christmas tree with us. We normally just go buy one that's already been cut, but this year we're going to go try and do it the way I used to do it when I was a kid and go cut our own one. So that should be a lot of fun. I think you guys should check that out. Honestly, cutting a tree with your kid and your family and everybody, it's going to turn into a tradition, I'm sure. We're going to go every year and cut our tree down together as a family. So it'll be a nice little memory. I'm excited. And again, that farm's called Mary Farms. It's out towards the Flamborough Guelph area. So it's not far from like the Hamilton area, but Hamilton Burlington is probably the closest. In terms of Toronto, it might be a little bit far. I'm sure there's something out there that's a little bit closer for that kind of thing. But for the Hamilton, Stony Creek, Burlington, Ancaster area, definitely a good place to go check out. So, what else? What else has been going on? We have got, I'll give you guys a bit of an update on the Not Your Average Dorman comedy show. We have been postponing that just for a little bit because we really want to get that perfect before we go ahead and launch it. So he's going to be, Garcia Smith is the host for that. He's going to be great. I spoke with him tonight, and you know what? That's going to be really, really awesome because he's got some great ideas in mind, and I'm not going to expose his secrets right now, but he's going to have some pretty cool guest appearances from the sounds of it, so that'll be cool. And what else? We just had our Halloween horror show 2-day marathon. I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was a blast. I had a lot of fun. When I was on for the 30th episode, I couldn't be on for the 31st because, of course, I have 3 small children and I had to be out trick-or-treating with them and collecting my commission. And so no. But yeah, so we had totally kind of... Our Halloween was fun. I hope you guys had fun. It was a blast. My kids had the coolest costumes. Honest to God, I was jealous. I'm like, man, I look at all these costumes and I get sad. I'm like, I'm just getting old. I'm like, what's going on in life? I'm like, nobody... I'm like, I couldn't even get away with... Actually, I probably could. Who am I kidding? I'm only like 5'1". I could definitely get away with going trick-or-treating. If I were to stick on a costume, I bet nobody would notice. Honestly, I think that it would be like one of those things where they're like, yeah, maybe she's like 13, 14. If I were to stick my hair in pigtails, I'd probably pass for a 14-year-old. But that's besides the point. Halloween was making me sad for a little bit. This year was actually pretty good. There was so many people giving out candy. I was quite happy for everyone. But for the last couple of years in Canada here, I don't know if it's the same out there in the States or wherever you're listening from, but we've had like a serious shortage on handouts. People are just not even turning their lights on anymore. They're like, nah, forget it. We're not going to give out candy this year. They just turn their lights off and they're like Scrooge on Christmas. Nobody wants to give out candy. I'm just like, what happened? I was like, honestly, these children's youth are being cut short. This isn't fair. I'm ready to go stand in the streets and just throw candy around. I'm like, honestly, I'm starting to feel bad for them. This is terrible. When are people going to start handing candy out properly and get in the spirit of the holiday? But you know what? There's a lot of very mixed ethnicities in the world now, right? Not everybody celebrates Halloween. You got to remember that. Not everybody celebrates Christmas and I've noticed that even, my kids in school, they have turned it into, they don't really dress up in costumes, but more or less they will have them dressed in black and gold, or black and orange. And I'm just like, okay, yeah, that's cool, but what happened to going to school in a costume if you have Halloween on a school day, I'm sorry, no ifs, ands, or buts. My kids are going in their costumes. Honest to God, I actually was the rebel parent this year. My kids were supposed to go to school in their black and orange clothes, and I was like, nope, absolutely not. You guys are going in your costumes. Full on. I didn't even care. I was like, you know what? You can lose the mask, because I know that you'll probably end up losing it anyway. So just leave the mask at home. But in terms of the rest of it, you're going to school like that. I'm like, nope. Not my kids. It's not fair. At all, honestly. I don't even agree with it. But, so, our Halloween was fun. I hope you guys had a blast. I hope your costumes were as funny as my kids' costumes. It's entertaining always to see the little ones running around. Because you know what? There's so many different things, and some of them I'm just by the end of Halloween, I knew all of the names of the Ninja Turtles. You know what I mean? I'm just I didn't even watch that as a kid. How the hell do I know everybody's name? Can somebody explain to me how I knew everybody's name in the Ninja Turtle group when I haven't even watched an episode once in my life? Explain that to me. But, you know what? It was fun. They had a blast. And to be honest, I was I think I was having more fun than they were, to be honest. I was sitting there or I was walking with them and I was like, you know what? Out of everything, even just seeing them having fun makes me happy, right? So, to walk around for hours in the freezing cold, to me, it's, worth it. I'm like, whatever. They're smiling. That's all that matters, I was seeing, and you know what, I've seen some really great messages on Facebook. Kudos to you guys who've been posting things about, people being excluded out of trick-or-treating because of their age. I think that stuff is completely unacceptable. If somebody wants to trick-or-treat at 13 years old, that's their own problem. What is anybody else to, go ahead and judge something like that when it comes to, maybe that kid is still believing in Santa Claus and very much so, into the Easter Bunny and all of that. What, are you going to go and crush his dreams and try to convince him that, those things aren't real anymore? Like, some people are just cold. Honestly, I remember when I was a kid, my mom, what she did to me? God rest her soul, Mom. Awesome mom. But you know what? You know what she did to me? When I was like 8 years old, she was like, oh, we were on a bus. We were taking the bus home. We didn't have a car when I was a kid, so we used to take the bus quite a bit. And we're sitting there in about, one of those two-person bench type things. And all of a sudden she says to me, oh, well, Christmas isn't real, and Easter isn't real either, and neither is the Tooth Fairy, she says. I just thought I should let you know, because you ask a lot of questions usually about it anyway, and you tell me, I'm lying to you and everything, so I figured I should just probably tell you the truth. And I was like, what? Like, that's not even supposed to be like that. Like, how can you even just throw that at me like that? I'm like, that's mean, you know what I mean? So, and here's my fiance. Do you want to say hi?
Hello, everyone.
But yeah, so we're actually not on Ustream. For anyone who's looking for us on Ustream tonight, I guess I probably should have said that a little bit earlier. We're not on Ustream. We're on Spreaker tonight. I didn't feel like doing the whole cam thing tonight. My kids stayed up a little bit past their bedtime, so I was worried they were all going to come down and crash my episode. So I decided to go against the Ustream tonight. So we are just on the Spreaker platform. I've posted all the stuff on Facebook, and yeah, you can get the links from there. So if you guys want to check out our Facebook page, it's just Etheric Force Radio on Facebook. So if you go to the top search bar, just search us, and the link has been posted in there. And also on my fan page, just Sarah Jessica Crawford. I have a public fan page. I've posted the link on there as well. So the next little bit, we will be working on getting a bit of a transition for a few of our other shows that haven't launched yet. We've been kind of, like I said, working behind the scenes and trying to perfect things before we go ahead on that. So I will keep you guys posted on the Extra Point. That is the major sports show that we're going to be having. They should be launching around the same time as the average Dorman show, so that will be probably within the next couple weeks. And I believe that we're going to be doing a bit of a launching episode with or without. I'm not 100% sure yet. We might do kind of an event sort of thing for that. So I'll keep you guys posted on that, because I know that Garcia and I are both kind of working on some fundraising ideas, so we might end up merging at some point and making something out of that. So that'll be cool. We've got a ton of people too. I've had a lot of questions about guests and how to get on the show and stuff. So yeah, I just want to answer some of that on air for anybody who's listening right now. If you want to listen to us on, sorry, I just got a whole bunch of messages here. Oh, good. Okay, well, I'm glad everybody hears me good tonight, guys. Thank you for answering those questions. I just checked a few things on our Facebook page there, and on my website stuff here. I get emails through the website platform, so it comes directly into my email. So thank you for everyone letting me know that my show is actually working tonight. I have no idea what happened last week. That was it was so brutal. I was so upset because I had such a great show, and I had, I was just so mad that it wasn't recorded properly. I was like, oh my God. I was like, are you serious? I just talked for an hour and it didn't even record? You've got to be kidding me. Like, you have got to be kidding me. I was so mad. But what can you do? That's computers and technology. They're supposed to make our lives easier. They really don't. They do not. Honestly, don't let people lie to you. So, the biggest thing that I have noticed people going on about is, I'm just going to say it, is the first lady, okay? So Donald Trump's wife, I don't even know her name. But the fact that, you know, the way she dresses, the way she is, her personality, whether she's going to be, you know, good as, you know, the first lady for the White House and all of this. And you know what? I was really kind of like, oh my